Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Payoff Pitch presented by Fantasy Phenom. If you had a bad day, just smile, smile through the pain, man.
That's right, man. They tell me your passion's gone away, and you don't need no carrying on. Yeah, it was rough, man. I don't know what to say. Nothing really went the way it was supposed to go today, but that's really what baseball DFS is all about. Especially for those like us, we play one line, maybe a couple lines. This was not a slate for those people.
Oh, fuck today.
Yeah. I love it. We do a bunch of research, a couple hours before the show starts. You get up, you look over the injury news, you look through your lineups, you do some more research, you spend a couple hours writing things up, and this shit happens. Like, hey, but what can you do? You gotta just brush it off, move on to the next one, man. What do you do on days like today when shit's just like going down the creek real fast? Like, do you
Do you want to know what
grab
I really
a beer? Do
Do
you
you want to know what I really do?
play some video games?
I legit text Theo, and the conversation usually goes one of two ways. Either I tell him that I'm retiring from DFS, or
That it's all his fault.
or I take solace in telling him to go fuck himself, and but no, I legit told Theo the Astros saved my DFS career, man. I told Theo that if both the Astros and Brewers got shut out, this isn't like the fifth inning, I was retiring from DFS for good, and Derek Fisher saved my DFS career.
Yeah.
But
Look at this guy. He's looking at us like, how can I fuck up their lineups today? Look at that face. I
it's
just want
not
to slap
only
it.
him. Look at number 2.
Yeah. No, I know.
Where the fuck
No,
was this Bartolo Colon when we played him against the Phillies?
Yeah, I did my stacks right up, and the two guys I wanted to attack were those two guys. So that's kind of how my night went.
No. So check this out.
44-year-old Bartolo Colon,
So, a couple fun facts here, right? So, let's talk about Cologne for a second.
Okay.
Cologne, in his first start against the Dodgers, after saying he was contemplating retirement, I still have the text. Theo's like, I'm attacking Bartolo. And I was like, watch. Bartolo Colon is going to go out and pitch like his career is on the line, like he doesn't want to go out like this. Since that start, he has a complete game, and he has this shutout, I mean, not a complete game, but performance versus the Brewers, right? What the fuck, man? And literally, so to top it all off, on tonight, like, it just added insult to injury. I played the main slate with a Astros and Brewers stack, 4 deep on each, right? I loved the matchups. I was like, all right, we're going here. And I pitched Brandon Woodruff, who he did okay from a real life perspective, not good fantasy.
Right.
I loved that line so much, and I realized it was all late slate, or all late slate or express, whatever you want to call it.
Express, yeah. Or I guess late, yeah.
I put that same exact line in 3 different entries in the express slate. on both sides. It
Oh,
was
no.
fantastic.
Goodness gracious. And I mean, Bartolo, his whole career has been this. Like, he's going to retire, and people are going to look at him like, he had a great career. But it's because he has these random, really good starts, or these a couple stretches of good starts that disguise, like, his overall terribleness. Like, it's what gives him another year, gives him some more money, gives him another team being like, well, maybe, it's rough. It is. And then Miguel Gonzalez, I mean, he at one point was a good pitcher for Baltimore. He's just having a terrible year. And I did notice that he was a lot better pitching at home for some reason, but I was like, I mean, is that really going to take me off a Houston stack because he's a little bit better at home?
A little bit better for him isn't good, by the way.
Exactly. It was like a 3.5 ERA.
But I'm with you, man. The one solace that I have is Justin Verlander. I said that he was my favorite pay-up option last night, and he delivered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I played Tanaka over Verlander, but those were the two guys that I was debating. Yeah, I mean, he does it again. I mean, this is now 6 starts in a row.
Telling you, man, he's a
So,
second-half pitcher.
yeah,
Gio
he
had
is.
another good start.
Numbers don't lie.
And then Rick Porcello had an immaculate inning today. 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts.
Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, especially from that guy.
9 times this year.
I saw Dellin do it once this year.
And then we got the King of the Diamond. Well, I guess Todd Frazier and Didi are stack. But we had Ryan Zimmerman, 2 home runs. Anthony Rendon was the chalk play at third base on the Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman was mad low owned. Sure enough, Ian Kinsler, 36 and 50. Todd Frazier, 34 and 47. Brian Dozier, another home run today. And then Didi had another good game.
Didi's flying under the radar, man. That's what he does. And then Zimmerman, very, very low. I mean, he was the best value play on FanDuel even. Just really low price for him on FanDuel. 4 for 4 today with 3 extra base hits, 5 RBIs. I mean, killer game for him. Obviously, Rendon versus a lefty is going to get a whole lot of ownership just because of numbers. He's had a really rough week. I mentioned that to someone today who was thinking about playing him. But, yeah, I mean, you got to look there every time he's playing a lefty. Ian Kinsler, Todd Frazier, I think that's just fluky, just like this slate was. And then Didi, I like Didi. I had him and Judge in consideration. I just, yeah, he's just been playing well, man. He has. He's been hitting the ball hard. Just putting solid. He had one of the best tweets ever today. So if you haven't checked it out, you got to do it.
Jesus.
He did, man. He used those emojis very, very well.
Where was he on National Emoji Day?
I'm sure he was all over it, man. Look at this tweet.
What's up, Tommy? All right, man. Well, we got 12 games tomorrow, early and main. So starting it off with this early, I like both pitchers in this matchup. And if I'm on DraftKings, I actually don't mind throwing them at each other. Dinelson Lamet has been fantastic his last couple starts. 0.083 average against, 28% K rate. And over the last 30, his numbers have been fantastic too. A 12.8% swinging strike rate, 26% strikeout rate. So those numbers are legit. They back each other up. 3.52 xFIP, if I'm not mistaken. So I like Lamet in this spot. It's risky. I would rather play Castillo. I think Castillo is an, I quote, safer play. But I like Lamet's upside more.
I think Castillo's a bit overpriced because of the slate. I think Lamet has the best strikeout stuff on the entire slate, but I also think if you're comparing all 4 of these teams as far as batting, I think the 2 best teams as far as recent performances in that game as well. So, yeah, from a DraftKings perspective, if you're playing a 2-game early slate, I could see why you would want to pay down and just pay those 2 guys and kind of do what you wanted for bats, but then you're stuck in the other game. So just interesting strategy. I don't think you can really go into the strategy because it's all price dependent as far as when these lineups come out.
This is fact.
But yeah, I agree. The 2 pitchers I like the most are those 2 guys as well. And also this Thursday, man, there's a lot of people off on Monday, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And so this is a big 10-game slate on a Thursday.
Yeah, 12 games is not usually a big Thursday slate.
Mm-hmm.
We got Pittsburgh, Detroit. I think this has some game stack potential to it. Drew Verhagen, not much to love here. And then Garrett Cole. I like Detroit at home too much to play Garrett Cole tomorrow. And Detroit's hot.
Yeah, Upton had the day off. I don't know if it was a routine day off or he was hurt. I don't know.
I think it was just routine, or not a routine, but because he's never off, but probably just a 1 day off. I didn't hear anything about him being hurt, so I'm not speculating. I don't think he's hurt. But I think if you're playing bats in this 2-game early, this is the game stack right here. I'm not attacking Lamet or Castillo. I would load up on Detroit's probably my favorite stack, but I think you got to look at Pittsburgh as well just for the opposing pitcher.
Yeah, on Pittsburgh, I like obviously McCutchen. Freese is playing well. Do you hear that, or is it just me?
No, what's going on?
I can hear myself.
Oh.
I'm trying to unplug. Test.
Good.
Let me call you back.
Okay. All right, well, I will move on to the main. Miami and Washington, Tanner Roark and Dan Straley.
Yeah, that's weird.
You back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, we're good. Yeah.
So Dan Straley, Tanner Roark. I think I'm going to fade this entire game. Although, actually, you know what? I could see attacking Straley. He has a high fly ball rate. XFIP's not good. And Washington's been swinging the bat well. I could see playing or attacking Straley here.
I can see it as well. He actually has been. Both these pitchers have been trending in the opposite directions. So I think Roark's price at 7,500 is interesting. It seems kind of cheap for what he's been doing. But yeah, you know, I don't see him making my top 5 either. But definitely worth a second look. Again, Roark, he's another guy that's kind of a second half pitcher, having a good second half. So
this is facts. We got Jacob deGrom and Vince Velasquez. Jacob deGrom, one of the many pay-up options on this slate, but the most expensive on DraftKings. Is he the most expensive on FanDuel?
12-7. Yep.
He is. He's the most expensive on both sites. So, I don't think I'm going to play deGrom tomorrow. I like James Paxton better.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pay-up options that I like. I think I like James Paxton a little bit better. I think the strikeout matchup is a little bit better for deGrom. He's also seen both these pitchers have seen their opponents twice this season. So if you factor in those stats, I think it's been a while for deGrom. However, since he's seen Philadelphia,
they're free swingers, so I can see the K upside here. He's been pitching great of late. Almost got a 40% K rate in his last couple starts. So deGrom's on right now, but it is on the road. Philly's better at home. Again, just pure matchup, I think him and Paxton have similar upside. And if I'm looking at risk, I like Paxton's risk more because there's less risk, if that makes sense.
It really is a toss-up, man. I think Paxton's got the better strikeout stuff. I mean, he pounds the zone with his fastball. He's got like a knuckle curve that is just, it's really well disguised. So I don't know. I like Paxton's stuff a lot. I think we're going to continue to see the up from him. And deGrom, same thing, man. He could go out and do his thing tomorrow too. It's a toss up for me. I think I would lean Paxton as well, though.
Yeah, I feel that. Vince
Especially
Velasquez,
with El Torito, Odubel Herrera just firing right now.
You're attacking Vince Velasquez with some Mets. I think it's worth a look.
It's possible. He's a GPP throw, but yeah, I think it's worth a look as well. There's really not many places to attack on this slate that I would feel extremely comfortable about. So I think Velasquez is worth a look. Another guy that
to attack,
yeah.
New York and Toronto. I'm not pitching Sonny Gray. As well as he's pitched, Toronto is too hot for my liking. They made Tanaka's day very difficult. So as good as Sonny Gray's been, I just can't justify paying up for him when James Paxton's there. And with how hot Toronto's been. And then Marco Estrada, he's pitched decent in his career. He never really gets blown up versus New York, but he's a different pitcher this year. And New York is maybe finding their stride. So, gonna avoid both pitchers in this game, but I could see a sneaky New York stack here.
I mean, at least the bottom of the order, the Yankees have found their stride. I don't know about the top of the order. Um,
Yeah, Judge needs to go
yeah, I
back down
think
to AAA.
I don't know about that, but yeah, he's definitely in a bit of a rut. Sonny Gray, I think, is definitely worth a look tomorrow. I think him, Salazar, Paxton, DeGrom are all in play tomorrow. Sonny Gray, to me, I mean, he went out and dominated Toronto not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. 6
He did,
innings,
but they were also mad
no
cold.
runs, 9 strikeouts. That was about 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, they were in a bit of a cold stretch there, so I feel you there. But they don't hit his out pitch well, which is the slider that has the 51% K rate. So I don't know. I think I could see it being a plus K matchup for him, but I could also see him allowing a few runs tomorrow. I don't know that I would predict a shutout. And I think you can perhaps see that from the other 3 guys.
Yeah, I
That I
still like
mentioned.
James Paxton if I'm paying up tomorrow. Danny Salazar and Blake Snell. Danny Salazar has been fucking fantastic since he came back from the DL and back into the rotation. 40% K rate, 2.7 xFIP. Tampa Bay strikes out. Now, of course, they hit righties better than lefties, so there is that risk. And he does carry a 44% fly ball rate. So, inherent risk involved here if Tampa Bay gets a hold of some of these pitches. But I like Salazar's K upside here.
The thing that's concerning me about Salazar, he really doesn't have like a horizontal vertical movement type of pitch. He has some movement on his fastball, but he primarily throws fastball, sinker, changeup, which is concerning for me against a team like the Rays. But it's not really enough, and I really feel like Salazar is the guy that I feel most comfortable about paying up for tomorrow. I mean, again, 3 straight starts off the DL that's looked really great. There's been documented changes in his approach since coming from the DL that could be leading toward this change. And Tampa Bay is not a formidable opponent in my opinion, especially as of late. So I think he has the best matchup of the top 3, and probably the best upside when it comes to strikeouts.
Interesting. I still like. I don't know. I guess for me, I just see what Baltimore's pitching did to LA, and none of them are even close to James Paxton. And LA sucks versus lefties, so. But it's gonna be. I mean, there's a lot of pay up options tomorrow, so.
It's marginal, at best. You kind of go with your gut on.
I agree.
If you're paying up.
I agree. Kansas City, St. Louis, Jason Hamill and Lance Lynn. I think Lance Lynn's got to get a look tomorrow just for what he's been doing. Now, the strikeout upside, again, limited here. But I do...
He's been consistent, man.
He's been mad consistent with his quality starts. The problem is he going to get you that high upside play? And I don't know that I see it, especially against Kansas City. And then no way I'm playing Hamill. I could go back to a St. Louis stack tomorrow. I think he's in line for one of those attackable pitchers.
Yeah, Lynn just profiles as like a cash play. 6, like you said, 6 straight quality starts in, let's see, 4 of them. He's only allowed 3 hits. So they're very efficient quality starts. They're not like, he's, high BABIP. He does walk a ton, and he doesn't strike out much. Like you said, the upside isn't there, but that's why I feel like it's more of a cash play. You're going to get your 18 to 22 if he's having his good day. So I think it could happen tomorrow. And then Hamill, like you said, he hasn't really been blown up as of late. Can he get blown up? Absolutely. Fly ball rate, hard contact are up there. So he can get blown up. He just hasn't been as of late. So... Again, it just kind of goes to the landscape of this entire slate. There really isn't a lot of guys on the slate that have been blown up time over to time, We
got Houston and Chicago White Sox. Brad Peacock, he's going to take this 3rd stab at a stream
Getting
option.
Back in it.
A stream option here against the White Sox. They basically gave me the middle finger with Keuchel, who I pitched, and Colin McHugh, I also pitched. 3rd time the charm, maybe, with a Astros pitcher versus the White Sox. I don't know. He's not been great of late. Over the last 30, he's been good, but numbers in the last 2 starts, not very good. And then Carlos Rodon has been pretty fucking solid of late. 2.2 xFIP over his last 14 days. But he gets a tough opponent. But then again, the Astros, as a team, have just given me the middle finger the last 2 days. Maybe the third time the charm here with the Houston stack as well. I mean, them versus lefties. George Springer's back. Maybe first day jitters. I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
I'm gonna try.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna try and look into pitch effects and see if there's a reasonable explanation for what's going on for White Sox versus Houston. Probably their top two guys at this point. I mean, Houston's done a great job with their pitchers developing that power slider. Peacock's definitely a guy that has benefited a ton. I mean, you look at his K rate, comes out of nowhere, right? To have a good season. This will be his third, like you said, this will be his third start, I believe, back in the rotation. If no, maybe just a second since McCullers went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we said, stream spot. But I don't know. What do you recommend? Would you rather ride the White Sox and maybe consider some of their bats? I mean, this guy does walk a ton. He did get blown up in his last start for 3 homers and 7 earned against Toronto. Or do you go stream spot versus the White Sox and hope that it doesn't happen 3 times in a row?
Gun to my head. Peacock, but I think it's a complete fade for me.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm just gonna stay away from this, man. It's rubbed me the wrong way all series. It just seems like too good to be true, and that's how it's really been. So I'm gonna stay away from it as well. There's no use having that headache 3 days in a row.
I feel it. Minnesota, Milwaukee, Kyle Gibson, and Zach Davies. I think Zach Davies is an interesting pay down-ish play tomorrow. Minnesota, again, minus that blow-up game, has been very non-lethal offense of late. And Davies has pitched solid, limiting hard contact. Again, not a lot of upside, kind of like Lance Lynn here. Not saying they're the same pitcher, but not as much K upside, but safe-ish floor. And Minnesota, again, not fantastic, especially not on the road. So I think Zach Davies is in play as a pay-down option. And then maybe go back to Milwaukee against Gibson.
Maybe. Another situation, really. Would you rather... So I really feel like Davies and Lance Lynn profile very similarly, matchup and all.
Yeah.
Who do you give the nod to?
I don't know.
Kind of leaning toward neither. I think if I had to pick, it would be Davies against Minnesota.
So
I just feel like Sano being out of that lineup. I mean, I know he's back now, but still a hand injury that I kind of expected to be worse than was. I feel like the mojo's a bit gone. I don't know. Like you said, there's that one spot, but other than that, it's been pretty dark for them.
Yeah, that's why I mean, Lynn has the better ballpark, but tougher opponent. I don't know. I think there's points going in both of their favor today.
Mm-hmm.
We got Los Angeles, Arizona. Yu Darvish making his second start. He was fantastic in his first start against the Mets. And then we have Anthony Banda facing the Dodgers. I don't think I pitch Banda tomorrow. He's looked really good, minus that first start against the Nationals. But not a place I'm going to go. I'm not going to test the Dodgers 2 days in a row, especially not in this park. And then Yu Darvish, I like him, but again, the matchup is not as good as the other pay-up options, so I think he's going to be a low-owned GPP play, but if you're putting a gun to my head again on like top guy to pay up to, I don't think Darvish makes that.
Yeah, kind of a pitching fade here. I think you can look at bats, though, on the Dodgers side. I mean, like you said, Bandit pitched well against the Giants, but I don't really look into that much. He's still pretty much their 6th pitcher, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of gets the start whenever they need him. So, I mean, he's got okay stuff. Not in this ballpark. The Dodgers didn't look great today, but, I mean, it was Greinke, so I think they could come out and have a good game tomorrow, and I wouldn't shy away from playing Dodgers bats.
Okay. And then the last 2 games, Baltimore, Oakland, and LA, Seattle. Start with Baltimore, Oakland, Wade Miley, and I believe I've seen Paul Blackburn and Chris Smith, so I'm not 100% sure who it's going to be right now. Let's see if
I've heard Blackburn.
I've heard Blackburn as well. MLB.com has Chris Smith. Let me see if I can get some clarity here. Either
Yeah,
way, though, neither pitcher I think is in play from a pitching standpoint. I see Chris Smith now, so it is Chris Smith. I'm seeing
I
Chris.
believe Wade Miley leads the league in walks and hits per innings pitched. He has been blown up a ton this year. Like I said, in the month of July, had probably his worst month of the season. Got blown up by Chicago, Texas, and Tampa Bay in consecutive starts. He has pitched okay since then, but I still think that Oakland you can pitch against this guy. I mean, you can throw against this guy. I mean, he has a ton of hard contact. We saw what they did to when Ariel Miranda came to town not too long ago. You know, another lefty in this park. So I definitely am high on Oakland bats tomorrow.
Okay, I can see it. At home, yeah. They're definitely better at home. I'm with you, especially the righties. And then LA and Seattle, man. Again, I just love James Paxton for the matchup. I think Angels clearly struggle with lefties. That's no surprise. I mean, their numbers are way, way down versus lefties compared to righties. Paxton has been Corey Kluber, Chris Sale-esque of late. He's got an xFIP under 2 in his last 3 starts. A 31% strikeout rate on the season. His strikeout rate is 28.8%. His swinging strike rate is almost 14% in the last 30 days. So the strikeouts are not a fluke. Again, there's really no negative on this guy right now, and he's in Safeco Field. That's a pitcher park for sure. Minus Mike Trout, man, I don't see a huge threat here.
Mm-hmm. Me neither. Not at all. Again, it's just the upside of the spot. I mean, Paxton's pretty much in the Cy Young conversation at this point, man. Especially if Seattle can limp their way into the playoffs and do something. You know, he's probably going to pitch that one-game playoff if they get that wild card, which they actually have the second best record in the American League since the All-Star break, believe it or not.
They're hot.
So Paxton, to me, is in line for the win here. Skaggs, I know a lot of people had high hopes for him coming into the season, thought this could be a breakout year from him, and it could still be, obviously, injury-ridden. This will be his second start back, and I don't necessarily want to stack against him. Yeah, I agree. I mean, especially the lefty versus Seattle, it really isn't much to like on the Angels lineup.
So let me ask you this. Slate overview here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you pay up for 2 pitchers tomorrow?
To get the comfort? It depends on the value. I think.
Depending on when lineups come out, for sure. But just overall, like looking at the slate as a whole, without lineups right now, like if you just gut feeling, is it going to be a Chris Sale, Corey Kluber, need to pay up for 2 pitching to do anything tomorrow? Or especially with no real like prime attack options. I mean, you can look at Wade Miley. Oakland's cheap, right? Oakland is a very cheapish stack. So,
Ryan Healy.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's going to be
Chris Davis, 4,200.
Yeah.
I think you're definitely onto something. Again, I don't like to just plug zeros in my lineup, so if there has to be legitimate pay down options for me to justify it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But that being said, you know, we talked about the other slate when when Kluber and Sale went off. I mean, the perfect lineup. You know, we had people in there you weren't even in consideration. You know, this wouldn't even be a pay down option in your mind, but sure enough, they go out and have a good game, like Kevin Smith or something. You know, so perhaps that could be the way to win, but how are you going to put that lineup together if you're only building one? You know, that is the challenge. Again, it's just going to come down to, I think, if there are plays that I feel comfortable with paying down to, if I want to pay up to 2, because I mean, it's a lot of salary there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The more I look at it, I think I might bite the bullet on this 2 pitcher pay up strategy tomorrow. As much as I hate to do it, you know, I love finding that value.
Yeah, I kind of liked Blackburn. It sucks that he's not going to be pitching. If you wanted to pay down, we mentioned a couple guys. We mentioned Rodon, Roark,
I'm just looking here to see if there's any value.
Davies, and Lynn. I think would be the 4 guys that I look at. Maybe pitch Tyler Skaggs. I mean, I talked about him.
I can't go against Seattle.
So, yeah, I think it definitely seems that way. When you have those 5 guys at the top, DeGrom, Paxton, Salazar, Darvish, and Gray, those are the clear-cut options I want to go to. Everybody else, I'm having trouble making a case for. Mm-hmm. So I agree with you, man. Other than Davies and Lynn, who have been putting together quality starts and have good, solid matchups, there's really nobody else except for maybe Roark, who gets a solid matchup, and he's been pitching kind of well. And then Rodon for the GPP upside of his strikeouts of late. That's
a bold move going against Houston, but I can see it. Yeah, man, I think if I had to say right now, as we're speaking, I'm just trying to build a preliminary lineup with Paxton and Salazar. I think those are my favorite 2 pay-up options against it. I don't have that gut feeling about DeGrom. I'd rather pitch Darvish than DeGrom, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel you. I'm definitely high on Salazar, Gray, and Paxton as the top 3.
Mm-hmm. Gray, interesting. I don't know, man. I can't do Gray right now. Not against that offense. Chris Davis on DK as a first baseman is $3K versus Chris Smith. I know he's cold, but talk about a price exploit. There's value. There's definitely some value here that I'm seeing as I.
I still like the Ryan Healy, Matt Chapman 2-man. Matt Chapman's still only 2,300 versus a lefty. Yep, and you can play Ryan Healy at first base, who crushes lefties.
Yep.
I played that the other day, and it worked out.
There's definitely value, man. Especially you can punt shortstop. We know about that all the time. So I do think, you know what, I'm gonna say it, man. I think tomorrow is a 2 pay-up slate, 2 pitcher pay-up slate on DK. FanDuel, I think you definitely pitch an ace.
Mm-hmm. I know it's Paxton, but Maldonado always hits well against lefties. Could be a pay down option if you're trying to punt. 2,400 on DraftKings.
Yeah, no, I can see it. So, all right. Well, that is where we are at, guys. As always, if you guys are looking to join the Phenom, get in that River group. See all the write-ups, the action, the comedic relief on days like today. If you had a shitty day like I did, you know, hit that button down below the subscription link. Get that free 7-day trial. Again, no strings attached there. Just try it out for 7 days. If you don't like it, cancel, no charge. But I think you'll enjoy it. And then, you know, we're gearing up for NFL, man. I'm excited about that. The sheets are just about done. Got most of the work done on them today, later tonight. So all that's left to do is the optimizer, the almighty optimizer.
Yeah, big things coming for NFL, guys. We're pumped. How about them Panthers today, man? God. People showing out to Bank of America Stadium. And Deshaun Watson played well, and his definitely shined. So I know that's going to be a storyline all preseason as well. Yeah. So it's going to be a fun week 1, and I'm ready to pump out some analysis.
Rudy says the guys you can't pitch are usually the guys you should pitch.
Yep, that's how it works anymore. I'm putting the line together right now. It doesn't look too bad with Paxton and Salazar.
Yeah, so I think it's doable, man. I really do. So, all right, guys, we'll have a wonderful and profitable Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow, of course. No lock show. I'll have my write-up, though. Sorry about it being late today. But I'll make sure I get it in there a little earlier tomorrow for you guys looking to do all those stacks. And then we'll be back tomorrow night to break down Friday.
Yep, I hope you guys have a better night than we did. And looking to tomorrow, hit us up if you want to chat anything baseball, DFS, NFL, favorite type of pizza. I love pizza.
This guy.
anything, man. Hit us up. Follow me on Twitter. Always posting cool articles if you like to read like I do. And yeah, that's all I got, man.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in.
Well, have a good one, guys.